that one time Ali radiallahu anhu said, لو كان الدين بالرأي لكان أسفل الكفر أولى من أعلى. Those who know that if you are making, you are taking sauce and you want to make wudu, so you can just touch your hand on your upper part of the sauce. So he said, if the deen is taken by our own logic or our own intellect, or in these words, very common thing is common sense. Mostly people use the common sense as a kind of test on Sharia. So he said, if the deen is taken by our own opinion, our own understanding, we are supposed to prefer to wipe out the lower part of thought, not the upper part. Because it is the logic. It will be the physics. If something happens, touch some wrong thing or some dust or something, it is on the lower part, not the upper part. But it is not. So issue is not that Islam is anti-rational or against the rational. It's not the issue. But the issue is that the source of deen is not human intellect or human, kind of understanding. The source is Sharia, which is revealed by the Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to His Messenger. And the greatest example of this, you can say, beyond our logic things, is Hajj. If you suppose classify the Hajj in a just a commercial value, or just a tourism, or just, you can say, for example, just a sightseeing, or visiting some other region, it may be with different values which we are really witnessing in the manasik of Hajj. The value of Hajj is beyond all these human understanding. It is really based on our total commitment to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which we call Islam. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wa salam, when he saw in his dream that he's sacrificing his son Ismail, and he asked him, what do you mean? If you ask in our time any person, he will say, are you married? What are you talking about? I'm free person. You cannot get me, you cannot dictate me, right? But it was Ismail, the son of Ibrahim, who said, Ya abadi fa'al ma tu'mar. O my dad, my father, do what you are ordered, and you will find me passionate. Sabirin, right? The father, nobody can imagine that he's going to kill his son. But he accepted order. The son, who is not accepting that even his father do this thing, to even to touch him with bad things, but he surrendered. So when they were going to do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word, very special word for this whole situation. What he said, وَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ. When they proved their Islam, they confirmed by their action that they are not claiming Islam, but they are really proving it by their action. So this was the Islam. And you can see that in Hajj. A person will say, why I need to take showers? Why I not take clean any kind of dress? What is the reason why I only shower? Then why I need to cross a place, miqat, without ihram? Why I move 8 days to Mina? Why I go to Arafat and stay there? Then I go to Muzdalifah and spend 9 days, and then I stay 3 days in Mina. And then one day I'm sacrificing, another time I am stoning. What is the reason behind it? It is maybe something, maybe some person has a time, he can do it. I have no time. I'm busy, right? But I will earn from it. But Islam says it is the order, and you're supposed to prove it. So Hajj is actually beyond our own all kind of understanding, but it is really a confirmation of our iman that we are not believing in Allah if we get benefit from it. We don't believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if we have some extra bonus point from it, but we are doing it as a order. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what? لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. Whatever you are offering, meat, flesh, bone, whatever, money you are spending, it is not reaching to me. It's not giving me any bonus thing. It's not increasing my wealth. But if you are showing you are fighting, it is really worth and it is deserved for reward from you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he was quoting in Quran, ahkam, he is also giving hikmah, the wisdom behind it, because he is a hakim, right? He is giving me many, many reasons. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, when you are going there, what you do, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. Do yourself clean in your heart, in your soul, in your sexual life. Being away from it. Make your mind and your soul and your all organs clean. Focus on it. And then you keep in mind that you are making yourself a person of virtue, so you're supposed to be away from a person of sin. And the worst thing is if you do it openly. You don't think shy about it. And then wala jidal. And don't convert your difference of opinion in fighting and killing. And it is a training in these days of Hajj, and it not mean it is limited to that days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, Rasulullah ki ayyami ma'lumat. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the days counted days. But he didn't say that limit yourself for zikr there. He says, فَإِذَا قَضِيتُمْ مَنَاسِكَكُمْ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ. When you finish your manasik, even you continue with your zikr. There is a kind of training of Islam and proving it by action. This is the Hajj. And this is the spirit of Hajj. And I just quote you some very special observation from a very great scholar who wrote a book about the hikam of deen. Hujjatullah al-Baligha, written by one very famous Ahmad ibn Abdurrahim al-Tihlawi. So he counted many masalih. He said, what are the benefits? So one of the things he said, the one maslaha is ta'zeem al-bayt, honoring the position of bayt and honoring the sha'air, the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Quran says, وَلَا تُحِلُّوا شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ. So he says that ta'zeem al-bayt is ta'zeem Allah. When you are really respecting the house of Allah, you are proving that you are respecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is very important because many times it happens that, you know what, oh no, I'm believing in Allah, but who are you to judge me? Many times people, they are very, these days, mashallah, everyone he has every knowledge of deen, and then he always returns with a very, that's a fierce way to say, oh, who are you to judge me? Yes, Allah asked me to judge you according to your action related to some issues. So if someone is dishonoring house of Allah, right, it means I will not say that this person is honoring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So he says that ta'zeem al-bayt is ta'zeem Allah. And Quran says, وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. The one who is respecting the sha'air of Allah, even the rope, which a camel is going for the sacrifice, and they put rope. or they put some sign. It's called Shaira. And it is respected. It has no value. But it is now attached to the name of Allah. And then you say, this is تحقيق العرضة. فإن لكل دولة وملة اجتماعا والحج عرضة المسلمين وظهور شوكتهم. It is just like if you have an army and you have a specific army day or military day or national day, when all army men they have a good place and they go in the march past and they do everything to show their strength and their training and their ability to be, for example, defender of their country. So you say the Muslims are going there to show their, just like they're marching past, they're doing their exhibition in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a Jurudullah, as a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that sense, it is not that we not want to take it in a military term, but it is going to say that how we supposed to be disciplined, how we supposed to be organized. Most of the time, we are very organized people, but in our worldly matters. But we are very disorganized in our religious matters. Islam teaches us to be organized in both. Our commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just to go and pray anywhere, just to make a face anywhere. No, we have to face one direction. We have to pray in Jummah under one Imam, right? Make our lives straight. So this is the ta'zeem of the presentation. You know, whatever I have in the heart is okay, but presentation is supposed to be also well mannered and well presented. And he said, موافقة ما توارث الناس عن سيدنا إبراهيم وإسماعيل فإنهما إماما الملة الحنيفية. Then this is a kind of continuity, or the example meaning of ourselves with the same of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. We are connecting ourselves with that Ibrahim. And Rasulullah said in one hadith, مناسك الحج, he said, وقفوا على مشاعركم فإنكم على إرث من إرث أبيكم إبراهيم. When you take a stand on these masha'ir, so you are really sharing the inheritance of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So you are making the history of Tawheed, the history of sacrifice, the history of those who serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and serve His deen. And then he said, ومنها الاستلاح على حال يتحقق بها مثل كنزول منى والمبيت بمزدلفة. Yani Islam is not asking me to just be tough and hard in everything. Islam is easy, giving me easy option under limitation of halal. So even the Hajj, during the Hajj time, we have 3 days. And Rasul said, the Mina, Iyam, Aqli, wa Shuk. These are days you can enjoy. Mabit Muzdalifa, you just pray Maghrib and Isha and then you can sleep and you can at least take a rest and prepare for next day. And he said, الأعمال التي تعلن بأن صاحبها موحد تابع للحق متدين للملة الحنيفية شاكر لله سبحانه وتعالى على ما أمر كالسعي بين الصفا والمروة. هذا الشكر للإنسان أنه موحد وأنه على دين الملة الحنيفية. الصفا والمروة حدث أن this was the issue in the time of Islam. People when they visited Mecca from Medina, so they have an issue. They need to go Safa and Marwa because they put 2 idols there. So they thought it is not part of deen. When the Safa and Marwa even they put some wrong thing in it, but the value of Safa and Marwa is still as it is. So you're supposed to respect it, regardless people are misusing it or putting something wrong in it. And also we say, أهل الجاهلية كانوا يحجون ولكنهم خلقوا أعمالا معصورة وخلقوا أعمالا غير معصورة كذلك. And this happened from the time of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam up to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They did many things, but there was some good things. So Islam asks us to clean the pot and edit and then go with what is really filtered and clean and pure. Even one of the issues was the Arafat. The people of Makkah, they think that they are the people of Haram. So that they're not free to cross the boundary of Haram because Arafah is outside of Haram. So you not eat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala no. And he said what? إِذَا قَلِيلُ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَذِكْرِكُمْ. And said what? When you go, where are people are going? You go there, Arafah. Right? Why? Because it is not the issue that you are sacred. The sacredcy belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His deen. One time it happened that a Sahabi, Abu Darda, invited Salman Farsi and he said, تعال إلى الأرض المقدسة. I am staying in Syria, Bilad al-Sham, so it is a land of sacredcy, muqaddas. So come here. So he said, you know, in back, he said, إن الأرض لا تقدس أحدا. The place is not make some person sacred. The amal make it. So the issue is that how, for example, we are respecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever declared by Him important, not with our own judgment. And then he said, ثُمَّ أَفِيضُوا مِنْ حَيْثُ أَفَاضَ النَّاسُ وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ. And then people, what happened? They converted the places of Hajj, the places of what? Poetry. Making pride of their ancestors. Taking, for example, my father is so, my Qabila is so, my tribe is so and so. But instead of do what you do, zikr, make zikr of Allah. فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَذِكْرِكُمْ آبَاءَكُمْ أَوْ أَشَدَّ ذِكْرًا. Clean this thing and make your focus on the Tawheed. And then he said, وَمِنْهَا أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا اتَّبَعُوا قِيَاسَاتٍ فَاسِدَةٍ من باب التعمق في الدين ومنها حرج للناس كقولهم يجتنب المحرم دخول البيت من أبوابها. Yes, they added something little bit difficult for human being. So they think that when you are under ihram, you are a different person and you cannot do regular usual things. So suppose a person he took ihram and he's leaving his home and he realized something he lost or he missed. And he take back from home. So he will not enter again from the door of house because now he is ihram. So he jumps. Quran says, وَأْتُوا بُيُوتًا أَبْوَابِهَا. Come back what you need for, even you are in ihram, come back as a normal. It is not anything you divide the line of deen, the line of dunya. You make two different words. So you are safe. And the dunya is coming with good niyyah and good deen. So he said, ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم أن تأتوا بيوتا أن تأتوا ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم من قبل المشرق والمغرب also the case. القرآن says وكراهية في التجارة موسم الحج. Anything that is doing that dealing business or trade is haram. It is not good thing. And that's what he says. ليس عليكم جناح أن تبتغوا فضلا من ربكم. There is no problem if you do this thing. You can do it. But it's not me, for example, you make a hajj business or your whole hajj become a kind of business, but make yourself available for ritual and then you can do business as well. And also, some people, they go there and they don't take any food or anything with them. He says, we are really mutawakkilun. We are dependent on Allah. And that's why I know, وَتَزَوَّدُوا. Take something with you. Prepare yourself. Whatever minimum you can do. And this is the reason why I said, what is the istida? He said, الزَّادُ وَالرَّاحِلَةُ. The journey, whatever expenses, travel expenses, money, and staying there. And also, one of the things explained them away with قالوا أفضل الفجور العمرة في أيام الحج. They were thinking that if you do Umrah during the Hajj time, it is the worst kind of violation. And Rasulullah explained that Hajj, of course, is there, but the Umrah continues the whole year. Suppose a person is not performing Hajj, he can do Umrah. And also some kind of Hajj, including Umrah. And then also, Rasulullah explained to us that the miqat, why it is there. He said, اجتماع المسلمين في زمان واحد ومكان واحد والدعاء لهم عز بركة وأدخل للشيطان. And when you are going with one place, you are staying one place, so it is a really the goal of unity of Muslims. Physical term, a spiritual term as well, and it is the worst thing for shaitan. So he is describing many things that how, for example, we achieve and we are understanding. So understanding the wisdom behind it, it is important. We need to understand. But it not mean we judge according to our own saying and say, oh no, it is not making sense.